Congratulations, you're responsible, dependable, and trustworthy, which is why everyone else gets to relax while you slowly disintegrate into dust. Okay, it might not be that bad, but there is a real problem here. Reliability means you can be trusted, which is inherently a good thing. Higher trust has been proven by a mountain of research to lead to better relationships and more opportunities and all kinds of stuff. And especially when you start working someplace new, reliability feels so good. It's this nice, warm glow to know that people can count on you and that they see you as competent and capable. But eventually you realize that the more competent and reliable you are, the more work you get handed. Especially as almost everyone I have talked to, and I talk to a lot of companies, feel understaffed with less people doing more work, even though the unemployment rate is the highest it's been in years. So let's figure that out one day, I guess. So if you're super reliable when it comes down to crunch time, you're who people turn to. You may find yourself staying at work the latest or cleaning up after other people because they know that you'll cover for them. There's this annoying thing called availability bias, or the availability heuristic, which means that we put more importance on something if it's the first thing that comes to our mind. That's why companies like Coke, who everyone already knows, still spend bajillions of dollars in advertising. If Coke is the first thing that comes to people's mind when they think soda or even drink, it becomes more and more associated with the best soda or the best drink, because it's top of mind. It's the default choice. And availability bias can work in your favor. For example, if your boss is considering who should get a promotion, if you come to mind first because you recently did something cool or memorable, it'll likely improve your chances. But promotions don't happen that often. You know what happens more? Emergencies, deadlines, problems, and then availability bias becomes your enemy. Because if you're the first person who comes to mind when someone's thinking who can reliably handle this emergency deadline problem, well then ding ding ding, you're getting a call, email, Slack message. But you just keep saying yes, because maybe one day it'll pay off. Or perhaps you don't want to let people down. Or more realistically, it's just kind of your identity at this point. You know, you were a good kid, maybe labeled gifted or a high achiever until people-pleasing became a core part of your identity and personality. But as you aged, you realized that people never stay pleased. And no matter how much you achieve, there's always more to do and you just can't keep doing it anymore. But you know, also maybe not. I don't know you personally or anything. Any good trait can be taken too far. And when it does, it usually loops right back around to causing the exact consequences you were trying to avoid in the first place. Reliability is a good trait. It should build trust, but without boundaries, it instead builds resentment. If you say yes to everyone and everything so that you can always be there for everyone and never let them down, then inevitably you will eventually snap. You will overcommit, you'll take on too much and you won't be able to do it. You'll drop all the balls and then you won't be there for anyone. And you'll let everyone down. You won't be reliable for any of those people. But there are a few ways to fix this. So if you find yourself being the go-to reliable workhorse in your workplace, or even among your family and friends, then let me introduce you to Molly and Dolly. Molly and Dolly are my father's Shetland ponies, and he likes to drive around in a little cart with them because he has his retirement priorities straight, dang it. He's been training them for years, but despite that, Dolly has a little bit of a tendency to be a lazy sack, slacking off as much as she can so that Molly has to do more of the work. You see? I used the word workhorse intentionally earlier. It's foreshadowing. Technically they're ponies, but I feel like saying the term work pony would summon a certain demographic to this video that I'm just not prepared to deal with. Dolly slacking off makes the whole system unstable as the weight is no longer evenly distributed across the yoke, and neither horse can work as effectively. And there are only two real ways to fix it. You get Dolly to speed up, or you get Molly to slow down. If you've made it this far in this video, then odds are you're a Molly. You may have tried to get the people around you to speed up, to do their share, contribute equally, but you will also have found that you can't control them. You can only control you, which means if we're going to balance out the system, you have to slow down. And don't think about it as being less reliable, because it's actually going to make you more reliable. Reliability isn't about doing everything, it's about doing what matters most for the people who matter most. And you'll never be able to do that if you're a frazzled, burned out mess. As an individual, that starts by just setting some boundaries. Try saying no a little bit more. And if no feels like too much, maybe try not right now. That's what you can do as just one person, but long term, we have to find a way to create reliable systems, not just reliable individuals. If a system depends entirely on just one person, then it's already broken. So you have to create an environment that can survive without relying on you for a while. This is true at work. This is true at home. It is true for parents and spouses and friends. While I've mostly talked about the workplace in this video, I have seen this issue just as much plague stay-at-home moms who feel like they could not possibly take even one day away from their home and children without the entire thing falling apart. Sometimes because they don't trust their husband, usually because they lack a system. Whether that's lack of a partner or a community or friends or family or anyone to support them, and it's not good. It goes poorly. Reliability is beautiful. It is a gift to the people around you, but gifts have limits. Even a well-built bridge will collapse if too much weight is piled on it. The goal isn't to be less dependable. It's to make sure that you don't disappear under the weight of your own dependability. I'm trying to suck less at YouTube, so please stick around and click all the YouTube buttons if you're interested in personal development, leadership, communication, or workplace culture. I'm going to try not to disappear for months without uploading a video, which is a thing I've done multiple times, but I want to be better, and when people subscribe and interact, it holds me accountable. Get out there and make the world a better place.